name is Brenda Burns. I am the mother of Naomi Burns and the wife of Joshua Burns. For my family, Mott Children's Hospital is a place of profound pain and fear. It is where our worst nightmares as parents began and where our family was victimized. When our 10-week-old daughter began to vomit repeatedly, we went to the emergency room several times and were told she had a stomach virus. On the third visit, she was hospitalized after she briefly lost consciousness. Over the next 9 days, our daughter had many laboratory tests, spinal taps, and x-rays trying to diagnose what was wrong with her. This included an MRI scan of her head that was read as normal. 9 days later, we learned that the scan had been misread and that Naomi had bleeding in her head. The bleeding was not new, and all experts agreed it likely started at her birth. Naomi's birth was very difficult, involving vacuum suctioning and ultimately an emergency C-section. However, Mott's child abuse doctor claimed there was some recent bleeding as well. This newer bleeding proved that Naomi had been violently shaken. Nothing could be further from the truth. Words cannot describe the absolute shock, confusion, fear, and pain that filled our hearts and minds. My husband and I were separated and questioned. Previously supportive medical staff were now quiet and distant. We were no longer permitted to be alone with Naomi in her hospital room. We were interrogated by police and a CPS agent. Questioning of me focused on getting me to turn on my husband. We were told the retinal hemorrhages found in Naomi's eyes could only have come from severe abuse, even though they were not observed until 9 days after she was hospitalized. We pled with the doctor to consider other causes for her condition, but they were adamant it could only be violent shaking. The child abuse doctor even sought an opinion from a prominent pediatric eye doctor who has written extensively on shaken baby syndrome. However, when he did not support her interpretation, she disregarded his opinion. In court, the child abuse doctor stated the second opinion had no impact on her diagnosis. Naomi was discharged from the hospital and placed with friends. 2 days later, she was abruptly and cruelly removed from their care by CPS and law enforcement and placed in a foster home where she spent the next 7 months of her life. We were not permitted to know her location. We drained our 401ks and savings and had to seek help from family and friends to hire a defense attorney. In court, we learned that the goal of DHS was to suspend visitation with Naomi and to ultimately place her up for adoption. My husband was denied visitation, and I had to fight in court to obtain 3 one-hour visits with Naomi a week. Josh has not seen his daughter since April 3rd of 2014, when she was placed in foster care. Both of our names were placed on the Michigan Central Registry as persons responsible for severe physical injury of a child and for shaken baby syndrome. As a registered nurse, this essentially destroyed my career and ability to support my family. In court, the U of M child abuse doctor was the primary witness against us. DHS and law enforcement stated their actions were based on the diagnosis of abuse made by the U of M child abuse doctor. It was not until we obtained independent opinions from highly qualified specialists that we learned Naomi's bleeding was chronic and that rebleeding of such chronic subdural hematomas was common. Unfortunately, emotionalism and the notion of erring on the side of caution seemed to prevail in the courtroom. Comments made by the jurors in our local newspaper revealed that they did not understand the complex medical testimony. To our utter shock and dismay, my husband was convicted of second-degree felony child abuse and sent to jail. Naomi was returned to my care. In total, we have spent close to $200,000 defending ourselves. My husband, an experienced commercial airline pilot, was forced to leave his position. The future of his career is tenuous. We are now dependent on the generosity of friends, family, and supporters. To add insult to injury, the U of M billed us for the services of the child abuse doctor. Thankfully, Naomi is 100% healthy. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same for our family unit. We have not lived together as a family since March of 2014. As of today's date, Naomi has not seen her loving father in 532 days. Seeking care for Naomi at the U of M has dramatically and negatively impacted our family in a profound and lasting way. I have and will continue to caution parents against seeking care for their precious children at the University of Michigan. Thank you for your time.